Michael R. Mike Turner is the U.S. Representative for Ohio's 10th Congressional District, serving in Congress since 2003. He is a member of the Republican Party. The district, numbered as the 3rd District from 2003 to 2013, is based in Dayton and consists of Montgomery, Greene and Fayette counties. He is the current president of the NATO Parliamentary Assembly. Early life, education and career. Turner, a non-denominational Protestant Christian, was born in Dayton, Ohio in 1960 to Vivian and Ray Turner. His mother was a teacher in the Wayne school system in Huber Heights and his father worked as a member of IUE Local 801 for 42 years after serving in the military. Turner was raised in East Dayton and has one sister. Turner graduated from Belmont High School in 1978 and received his Bachelor of Arts degree in Political Science from the Ohio Northern University in 1982, a Juris Doctor from Case Western Reserve University in 1985, and an MBA from the University of Dayton in 1992. He practiced law with local firms and businesses in the Dayton area before entering politics. He also practiced law during the brief time between his service as mayor of Dayton and as a member of Congress. Mayor of Dayton. Turner was elected mayor of Dayton, Ohio in 1993, narrowly defeating incumbent Mayor Richard Clay Dixon. Prior to Mayor-elect Turner taking office, the city suffered a number of economic setbacks. Upon taking office, Turner focused on attracting business to the city and on redeveloping vacant and underutilized real estate packages known as brownfields. During Turner's time as mayor of Dayton, the city reached an agreement to construct a baseball stadium for a Class A minor league team affiliated with the Cincinnati Reds, known as the Dayton Dragons. Since its construction, Fifth Third Field Stadium has been a linchpin of economic development in downtown Dayton and has provided millions of dollars in revenue for the area. Turner was the mayor of Dayton during the planning and construction of the Schuster Center, which he supported for its contribution to reviving downtown. He facilitated discussions with key leaders from the project's conception to its completion. The Schuster Center is a performing arts center located at the corner of 2nd and Main Streets in downtown Dayton. The center has served as a forum for the Victoria Theater's Broadway series, the Dayton Philharmonic Orchestra, the Dayton Ballet, and also as a speaking location for visiting political leaders, such as former New York Governor Mario Cuomo. Turner also started a program called Rehabarama, which attracted professionals to historic properties inside the city. Mayor Turner welcomed diplomats and leaders from all over the world to the region as part of the 1995 Dayton Peace Accords. He was re-elected in 1997 over Democratic City Commissioner Tony Capizzi. He continued efforts to develop the economy of both the city and the surrounding region. Turner was narrowly defeated in 2001 by then State Senator Ryan McClin, U.S. House of Representatives. Turner is currently a member of the Armed Services and Government Reform Committees. In 2009, he was named ranking member on the Strategic Forces Subcommittee of the United States House Committee on Armed Services. 108th Congress. In November 2002, Turner was elected to Congress, succeeding Democrat Tony Patrick Hall, who had been appointed by President Bush to the UN. After taking office, in January 2003, Turner was appointed to the Armed Services Committee, a position he has used to advocate for Wright-Patterson Air Force Base located in his district, and to the Government Reform Committee. Due to his urban background, focus on the economic redevelopment of cities, and service as Dayton's mayor, Turner is sometimes described as an urban Republican. Recognizing Turner's work work on urban development. Then House Speaker Dennis Hastert appointed Turner as chairman of the Saving America's Cities Working Group. The group was formed to work with the administration to foster economic development and redevelopment and streamline government services in America's cities to help them prosper and grow. 109th Congress. During the 109th Congress, Turner served on the House Veterans Affairs Committee, in addition to his work on his two other committees, the House Armed Services and Government Reform Committees. 110th Congress. Serving on the Armed Services Committee, Turner had advocated for an expansion to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, providing testimony to the base realignment and Closure Commission. This effort proved successful in 2008, when the Air Force announced that 1,000 jobs and over $230 million in federal funding would move to Wright-Patterson AFB. Turner has said that this is the largest single investment in Wright-Patterson since World War II. In 2006, the Dayton Development Coalition, a non-profit and non-partisan group which advocates for economic development in the Miami Valley, began a regional branding campaign. Turner's company Turner Effect bid on and was awarded the contract to conduct the marketing research associated with the campaign. Dayton Daily News publisher Doug Franklin and Democratic Montgomery County Commissioner Dan Foley both stated the support for the coalition's contract award. In April 2008, Turner Effect withdrew from the branding implementation contract. Citizens for Turner contracted with Turner Effect for professional services, such as the production of literature, a common and legal process according to the House Committee on Official Standards and Conduct. But watchdog groups and media reports raised concerns about a possible conflict of interest in these two cases. The DDC said that its members were unanimous in the decision that there was no conflict in the having chosen Turner's company. On July 7, 2008, Turner wrote an op-ed in the Hillsborough Times-Gazette in support of the post-9/11 Veterans Educational Assistance Act of 2008, referred to as the GI Bill. In May of that year, Turner opposed an earlier version of the GI Bill. Turner has been endorsed by the Veterans of Foreign Wars PAC. He helped save a nursing home at the Dayton VA Medical Center. In October 2008, Turner joined then-Senator Hillary Clinton, First Lady Laura Bush, Senator Pete Dominici and Wahida Brad Miller to announce the introduction of bipartisan legislation that would permanently authorize two historic preservation grant programs. The House Bill H.R. 3981 would permanently authorize the programs known as Save America's Treasures, established by the Clinton administration, and Preserve America, established by the Bush administration. The bill was introduced in the House by Turner and Miller as co-chairs of the Congressional Historic Preservation Caucus and in the Senate by Clinton and Dominici. The two grant programs are complementary. Preserve America supports community efforts to demonstrate sustainable uses of the historic and cultural sites, focusing on economic and educational opportunities related to heritage tourism. The Save America's Treasures grant program funds bricks and mortar projects by helping local communities develop sustainable resource management strategies and sound business practices for the continued preservation and use of heritage assets. 111th Congress. In June 2009, Turner introduced H.J. Res. 57, the Preserving Capitalism in America amendment to the United States Constitution. This amendment, which has 104 co-sponsors in the House, would prohibit the United States government from owning any stock in corporations. In February 2010, Turner released a report on the impact of the housing crisis on local communities and the federal response, in conjunction with the Northeast Midwest Institute and the Northeast Midwest Congressional Coalition. The report included testimony and proposals from a local Dayton community leaders such as Commissioner Dean Lovelace and Miami Valley Fair Housing Center CEO Jim McCarthy, who participated in an August 2009 Housing and Foreclosure Crisis Forum in Dayton. Turner has indicated he will offer legislation based on the recommendations of the report. Turner voted against the Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act and the Healthcare and Education Reconciliation Act of 2010. He opposed the $1 trillion government takeover of our nation's healthcare system because it will increase budget deficits and decrease the quality of our health care services, Turner said. In his emerging role as a senior Republican in the House of Representatives on issues related to missile defense, nuclear weapons and military space assets, Turner has been highly critical of the Obama administration's phased adaptive approach and nuclear posture review regarding the protection and defense of the U.S. and our allies. In an April 12 USA Today editorial, Turner stated, "Our nuclear deterrence serves an important role in protecting the United States from would-be aggressors. Telling our adversaries that we are unwilling to use the full extent of our assets to protect our nation is either disingenuous or dangerous." Quote, in fact, in the 2011 National Defense Authorization Act, Turner successfully included language that stated the administration's nuclear posture review weakens the national security of the United States. The language was adopted by the Committee on Armed Services with bipartisan support and also received bipartisan support when passing the full House of Representatives 112th Congress. In 2012, Turner called for a missile defense site on the east coast of the United States to defend against missiles that would be launched from Iran. The East Coast site would be the third such site, joining two others on the West Coast that are designed to defend against an attack from North Korea. Committee Assignments, Committee on Armed Services, Subcommittee on Tactical Air and Land Forces, Chairman Subcommittee on Strategic Forces, Committee on Oversight and Government Reform, Subcommittee on National Security, Homeland Defense and Foreign Operations. Congressional Caucuses, Founder and Co-Chairman, Former Mayor's Caucus, Historic Preservation Caucus, Co-Chairman, Real Estate Caucus, Urban Caucus, Census Caucus, Romanian Congressional Caucus Member, Air Force Caucus, Appalachian Caucus, Asthma and Allergy Caucus, Automotive Caucus, Bike Caucus, Caucus on India and Indian Americans, Caucus to Fight and Control Methamphetamine, Composites Caucus, Cybersecurity Caucus, Economic Competitiveness Caucus, Georgian Caucus, Impact Aid Coalition, Manufacturing Caucus, Military Family Caucus, Multiple Sclerosis Caucus, Vision Caucus, UAV Caucus, Republican Study Committee, Republican Main Street Partnership, Congressional Cement Caucus, Task Forces Saving America's Cities Working Group Founder and Chairman, House Republican Policy Committee's Task Force on Urban Revitalization, Chairman, Congressional Manufacturing Task Force, Northeast Midwest Congressional Coalition Revitalizing Older Cities Task Force, Co-Chairman. Political campaigns. Turner was first elected to the United States House of Representatives in 2002. Turner received 58% of the vote following the retirement of 23-year incumbent Democrat Tony P. Hall from Congress after Hall was named UN Special Envoy for Hunger Issues by President George W. Bush. Earlier that year, Turner won the Republican nomination when he decisively defeated Roy Brown with 80% of the vote in a heavily contested primary. Brown was the son and grandson of a former area Republican Congressman Bud Brown and Clarence J. Brown, and operated a local newspaper company named Brown Publishing. Despite this, Turner still won the contest decisively. In the general election, Turner defeated Congressman Tony Hall's chief of staff, Rick Carney, after Carney won the nomination to succeed his former boss. Turner got a substantial assist from the 2000s round of redistricting. The old 7th had been a fairly compact district centered on Dayton. However, redistricting added some Republican-leaning suburbs to the east. In 2004, Turner defeated former businesswoman Jane Maitakidis with over 62% of the vote. The district was considered a key area in the swing state of Ohio in that year's presidential race. Turner ran on his record of advocacy for Wright-Patterson Air Force Base and on the importance of his seat on the Armed Services Committee. In 2006, the Democrats planned to target Turner for defeat. 3 Democrats entered the 3rd District primary to run against Turner in the general election. Veterinarian Stephanie Studebaker defeated local bankruptcy attorney David Feist and recalled Waynesville Mayor Charles W. Sanders. Studebaker had previously affiliated with former Vermont Governor Howard Dean's presidential campaign in Ohio during the 2004 race. After winning the nomination, Studebaker and her husband Sam were both arrested for domestic violence. Studebaker subsequently dropped out of the race, citing her family concerns and impending legal issues. Following Studebaker's withdrawal, 4 Democrats entered a special election primary to face Turner, eventually settling on former Assistant United States Attorney Richard Kemah. Turner defeated Kemah with 58% of the vote. 2008, Jane Maitakidis beat Sanders in a primary in 2008 and faced Turner in a rematch from 2004. Turner again focused largely on economic issues of job creation and protection for workers impacted by the national and regional recession. In a difficult political climate for Republicans, Turner defeated Maitakidis with 64% of the vote, his largest margin of victory in any election. 2010, Turner was challenged by Democratic nominee Joe Roberts in the general election and won with 68% of the vote. 2012, after redistricting, Turner's district was renumbered as the 10th district. It absorbed much of the neighboring 7th district, represented by fellow Republican Steve Austria. The district was made significantly more compact than its predecessor, absorbing all of Dayton. It initially looked like Turner would face Austria in a primary. However, Austria dropped out of the race, handing the nomination to Turner. Turner then went on to defeat Democratic attorney Sharon Neuhardt with 60% of the vote. Electoral history. Sutrina dispute involvement. On March 3, 2015, Montenegrin, Bosnian and other major Balkan-based news agencies reported that Turner involved himself into a Sutrina dispute between Bosnia and Montenegro. According to news agencies, Turner sent a letter of warning to Bosniak member of Presidency of Bosnia and Herzegovina Bakir Izetbegovic, where Turner suggested Bosnia to give up territorial dispute over Sutrina or otherwise United States could suspend aid to Bosnia. As a result of this, Presidency of Bosnia and Herzegovina will consider threats by Congressman Turner. Personal life. Turner was married to his wife Lori, vice president of network marketing at Kettering Health Network, from 1987 until the separation in 2012. They have 2 daughters, Jessica and Carolyn. Congressman Mike Turner married Majida Murad Saturday, Dec. 19, 2015 at Westminster Presbyterian Church in downtown Dayton, followed by a reception at the Dayton Art Institute.